Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Land. Guess what? I have a really big surprise for you guys. So, if you can see, look here, what's going on? Remember I told you the last time that our caterpillars were just about to spin their chrysalis? Well, they did. And so Miss Land moved it to the butterfly garden. And can you see them in there? They're in their chrysalis. They've been in their chrysalis for a couple days now. So I would say they probably have another, I would say maybe even 9 more days to go. So, because I think they're in there for 2 weeks. So we will keep an eye on them. And it's so exciting. I can't wait till they turn into butterflies. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about butterflies and moths and the difference between them, okay? So I have this book I got, and it's called Butterflies, if you can see it, Butterflies and Moths. And a lot of the time, the butterflies and the moths look very similar, and there's a lot of similarities, and people sometimes don't know the difference. So what I also did is I made on my whiteboard, this is called a Venn diagram. We've done this before, okay? And a Venn diagram compares and contrasts the differences and the similarities between two things, okay? So right here, what I did is I drew 2 circles, and if you can see, the circles though connect in the middle, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the things that the butterfly, just the butterfly has, and we're gonna put the things over here that just the moth has, but in the middle you put things that they both have that are the same, okay? So remember the one thing that I told you about a cocoon, right? So mostly we say that when a caterpillar moth spins, right, it's called a cocoon. But when the butterfly, right, when the caterpillar butterfly spins, it's called the chrysalis, okay? So let's also look over here. And this is a very long book, and I said I was reading through it myself. I was making some notes. I'm only gonna read some of it today, and then we're gonna go to our Venn diagram and we'll fill some in, and then we can come back next time and do some more, okay? All right, so let's start over here, butterflies and moths. So I thought this was very interesting because a lot of people think that they are the same thing. All right, so it says here, what are butterflies and moths? So butterflies and moths are insects. Okay, they have 3 body parts. They have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, and all insects have 6 legs. Butterflies and moths have large wings that are covered in tiny scales. Butterflies and moths are important. They help plants grow by spreading pollen. All right, now it says here, is it a butterfly or is it a moth? How can we tell the difference? All right, so butterflies and moths are alike. Sometimes it's difficult to even tell them apart. So look at these 2 pictures. Which is a butterfly and which is a moth? All right, so here are some of the differences. So for instance, they say a moth is usually smaller than a butterfly. A moth is usually dull colored, like not very bright colors, maybe even like whites or browns, okay? And it usually flies at night. See over here, they showed just like a brown moth, but the butterfly is usually more colorful, okay? And it's usually a little bigger, brightly colored, and it flies during the day. Another way to tell a moth and a butterfly apart is that they have these feelers right here. And the feelers can be many shapes and sizes, but the butterflies are usually very long and thin. Okay. Now butterflies and moths, they both start as eggs. They grow into adults with a series of changes. So they both go through the metamorphosis and they both change. They have the 4 changes, the 4 stages, right? Where they're in the egg, the larva, the pupa, and the adult, okay? These pictures show, right? They show the egg, the caterpillar, or they call that the larva, right? They're here in their chrysalis or the cocoon for the moth, or they're called the pupa. And then here, they're the butterfly or the moth, okay? It's hard to believe that a graceful butterfly or moth was once a crawling caterpillar. Do you know that the word caterpillar means hairy cat? Isn't that funny? That's a fun fact. Some caterpillars are covered with harmless fuzz, and others, such as this one, right? It almost looks like it has like spikes on it. So that's unusual. Adult moths and butterflies can only eat liquid food. So they only sip what's called nectar, and the nectar comes from inside of the flower. So they have, let me show you here, it's their tongue, their long tongue is like a straw, and it's actually called the proboscis, and it is used for drinking the nectar. I said it looks here, it's used like a straw. The proboscis is usually curled up, but it straightens out when the insects eat. Do you know most of the butterflies and the moths, the caterpillars, when they're in the caterpillar stages, they eat non-stop. They like to eat leaves and some stems of plants. Others even sometimes eat other insects or even fruit. Now, butterflies and moths can see, smell, taste, and hear differently than people do. So butterflies and moths do not have noses. That's interesting. They use their feelers, so right here, to actually smell. Butterflies and moths, we said, right? They eat or they drink with their proboscis, and they taste their food with their feet. How silly. Most butterflies and moths do not have ears, but some moths have sensitive ears. Butterflies and moths have compound eyes, and compound eyes have many flat sides. Okay. Very interesting. All right, so let's stop right there, okay? And then let's start to fill in our Venn diagram. As I said, I read this book before and I took some notes. All right, so the butterfly. All right, I remember it said, I'm gonna use the blue. Remember it said that the butterfly was brightly colored. So I'm just gonna do like bullet points. Bullet points mean that they're not complete sentences. I'm just doing like thoughts, okay? So I'm gonna write here, bright colors, okay? They also said, remember this, they fly during the day. All right, another one, do you remember? They said they were larger. Remember, then the moth, they said they were a little bigger. They also said that their feelers were long and thin. Okay, so that's good. All right, let's do the moth, okay? So the moth, they said, was smaller. You remember they said some had ears? Remember they said that the butterfly usually doesn't have ears, but they said the moth sometimes has those sensitive ears. Okay. Some have ears. Okay. They also said, oh, they were dull colors. Remember the butterflies were bright colors, but the moth had dull colors. And they usually fly at night. Okay. All right, here in the middle, we're gonna write similarities, so things that they both have, okay? So, oh, I have to write really small for this one. They both go through 4 changes, right? They start as eggs, then they're caterpillars, then they spin either their cocoon or their chrysalis, and then they become the butterfly or the moth, okay? They both sip nectar, okay? They both have no noses. And they both, remember, they love to eat. Remember, it says they're eating machines, okay? All right, so this is what I want you guys to do. So attached to the lesson, I'm going to attach a Venn diagram. You guys can, if you have a printer, you can print it out. I know some people have been doing their work right on to the lesson that I've been attaching. That's fine. You can draw a picture just like I did, okay? Some other fun things that I'm going to attach. I'm going to attach some coloring pages. I have here, this is the hanging caterpillar right before it's spinning its chrysalis. I also have this that I'll attach, the chrysalis page. And friends, don't forget to do your daily observations. So look, so this is, can you see? This is day 4, so look up here. I did it up here. Now they're in the butterfly garden. And over here, they're on this circle. That circle was actually the top of the cup, okay? And now they're in their chrysalis. And you can even write that they're in their chrysalis now and they're waiting to come out, okay? All right, boys and girls, so I hope you had fun today. I'm so excited to be seeing all these changes, and I really am having so much fun with this unit. All right, till next time, see you soon.